25:34 through 36. The king will then say, then 34 through 36. No, that's what I meant to do for. The king will then say to those at his right, "Come, my father, blessed ones, inherit the kingdom that has been prepared for you from the foundations of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you entertained me. Naked, and you clothed me. Sick, and you looked after me. In prison, and you visited me." You know, as Christians, these ain't things we do out of obligation because we earn our salvation. These are things we just do. We see how later they respond and they don't even recognize them. They're helping the Lord. They're just, as they go, they're being available to serve. You know, we're blessed because Christ died for us. We receive blessings because He died for us. And as a reaction of having the Spirit in us, we simply react. We can't keep it contained. We go out and help those in need because we have a loving Spirit because He's in us. So our love is shown through helping people. These are things Christ Himself did. When He saw hungry, we see how He fed the 5,000. We see how the woman at the well with the drink and how that was done. We see how some of the people He hadn't physically met before. Of course, He's Jesus, so He knew who they were. And we see how He knew who they were before He met them. But we see how who they were didn't stop Him from teaching and helping them. We see how He talked to the Samaritan woman at the well. Well, at that time, talking to Samaritan people was not done because they were considered half-breeds and considered unclean, and just talking to them wasn't something you would do. So He overcame boundaries ethnically, and He dealt with those who were poor. He dealt with those that were seen as unworthy, the people that the Pharisees would not have anything to do with. Jesus was willing to help. And as Christians, we shouldn't let these boundaries that the world makes up prevent us from helping them. We should be able to help those in need. And oftentimes those that are in need can be most able to be reached to win them to the Lord. Because when everything's going right, it's hard to tell people they need something. Tell them they need Jesus when everything's going their way. It's hard for them to see that. But when they have physical needs, when things ain't going their way, it's easier to show them their need for Christ. Now, that doesn't mean their physical needs going to be met. And the idea isn't to just share Christ with them if they have a physical need. You meet that physical need by doing that, you show them the love of Christ and then share it with them. There's an ideal out there that if somebody's hungry, you just give them the living bread and let them go their way. Now, we are to meet the physical, and Jesus did this. Meet the physical and then present them with the spiritual. This is done, we show them love. We continue the job He left. When He left, He was doing this. As a church, we're to pick up this, and we're to continue doing what He did. We're to follow in His footsteps. And while we may not, as individuals, have this every opportunity, as a whole, the church will have opportunity to meet people and win them to the Lord. Now, sometimes most of the time we'll have to go out of our way to do this. Sometimes God will bring them into our way so we can reach them. But either way, we should try to draw them closer to the Lord. Sometimes the door will be shut and they won't be able to listen. But sometimes the Lord will have us be used to bring them to Him.